Good Sunday afternoon, everyone. I hope this day finds you doing well. Before you come in the chat, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video. So, a lot of you know how I do when I do go thrifting, which I did yesterday, and went to the second location of the thrift store. And I'm really glad I did because there were deals to be had, unbeknownst to me until I got to the counter. But sometimes they do run specials, especially if they have something that's been in the store a while or a lot of an item out on the floor with a lot more in the back. They usually discount. And I got to be a part of that yesterday. So that was exciting. I didn't know it till I got to the counter. So I did pick up some clip earrings. I found a pair of Weiss. I found a pair of Navajo clip earrings that were $9.25. I found Monet and a little bit of everything. I really couldn't see because it was kind of dimly lit. But I just picked out the ones that had names on them and went from there. So anyway, we're going to get started in just a few minutes, waiting for those notifications to go out, and we will get started. So I just kind of decided yesterday that I was going to make a trip up to the second location, so it was worth the trip. So we'll get started in just a few minutes here, and wanted to show you my earrings here that was made by Dennis. They have little faces on them. They have a really beautiful color, and this bracelet as well that was made by Dennis. He is really good at what he does, and Bruce and Dennis do offer these things on their lives, and each piece is very unique, very detailed, and just really different. So if you like different, I mean, he really went to town on these pieces. So I decided to wear a couple of them. And the thing that drew my eye about this was the color. Hey, Rudy, welcome in. Was the color, and they have little faces. I was attracted to the color. They're longer, but they're not that long, and I decided to wear them. And of course, I couldn't wear this bracelet without this ring, so those are real stones. Good to see you, Rudy. I haven't seen you in a while. So we're just going to go ahead and get started, and those that come in later can always watch the replay. And hi, Deborah. Welcome in. But I was able to went to the thrift store and was able to get a buy one get one on glass. Thank you for the hearts. And I was totally floored because I didn't realize it until I got to the counter. And it's good to see you, Deborah, and welcome in. I just got a menagerie of stuff. I got some clips. I have a pair of Weiss. I have some Native American 925 clips, which they did not check before they offered them for the price that they did, which I'm not complaining. I've got a Weiss, I have Monet, and just different things like that. But they had them all in little bags, and I just stood at the counter and just started going through them. So we're going to get started. Now this, I was really excited about this, guys. Look at this. Let me move it in so you can look what that says, cloisonné. And yes, it does have condition issues, but I kind of overlooked that because of what it was. I did not Google this. There's no telling what this thing's worth. And it is a Whitman's Cloisonné 10. And when I seen Cloisonné, I just grabbed it and ran. And thank you guys for being here. I don't think well, this one is hinged. Here is the inside of it. Beautiful. I mean, there's some condition issues, but I didn't Google it because you know why. I mean, when you see Cloisonné, are you really going to question the what it is. So I just used my instincts, and I'll tell you how long it is. And thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it. It's coming in at about 10 inches long. It is approximately, it's 2 marks from 8.5 inches. I know it's old, and there's no telling what it's worth. But this would definitely go down as one of the goodies. So it says original 1920s Whitman's cloisonne tins can be found today in antique and curio shops throughout the United States. So I just happened to find it in a thrift shop. It says this tin is an updated version of an original cloisonne tin design introduced by Whitman's Candies in the 1920s. The original was made to replicate the enamel work called cloisonne, in which colored enamel areas were separated by thin metal bands. The design captures the intricate handwork involved in the artist's creation. So couldn't you imagine? I mean, there are lifted areas on this, but can you imagine what the original would look like? I thought that was rather lovely myself. So I had never seen one, to be exact. So I do have some buyers that do love jewelry boxes. This one is like new. It's not branded or anything, but it's pretty good sized. I think I pretty much know who will like this. And I just bought it. It's not an antique or anything, but it will suffice for jewelry, especially costume. And it does have, when you open it up, it looks like this. Look how clean that is. That is spotless, and it also has an additional drawer right there. And I pretty much know who's going to be interested in this, and that's why I picked it up. Like I said, it's not old, but it will hold a decent amount of jewelry anyway. So we're looking at almost 12.5 inches long and about, I would say, 10 inches wide. And it's just really nice. It's stackable. This isn't glass on top, but I think it would suit the purpose for anyone. And it was clean, so I did pick that up. Just like new, guys. Didn't bother me a bit to pick this one up. As a matter of fact, it must have been so good they wanted $30 for it. So yeah, we're at 4:18 p.m. here, so I'm sure that will be sold rather quickly. And you guys all know that I have a love of boxes. And when I seen this, I just couldn't help it. Let's see, there's that one thing. Let me get that other thing out. There is an item or two in here that they put in here. So, this is a stackable. There's all different sizes. It's got the handle, and there's 3 of them. And they're all stackable, guys. So when you stack them together, they're going to look a lot like this. I mean, that's a lot of storage in that. 3 of them with the little handles and everything. I thought they were adorable. I love boxes. If I don't sell them, I keep them myself. Yeah, it's, we get so much jewelry that we need somewhere to put it. Isn't that adorable? And I love a good box. And you could even keep a collection of jewelry in these from a certain person or a certain category, like, all your vintage necklaces and things like that. and you could keep them in a category, and they are clean as well. Very pretty. If you wanted to, you just, and that's metal, you just pick it up and run with it. So there's those. I've been working in this room all morning. One of these days I'm going to get it straight. You know, you got to move something out of the way to get to something else. So I'll get it. I plan to put a table over. I'd like to have some shelves, but there's a table that I have in the basement that would fit perfect in that corner. It's called space utilization. And I've got this room, and the room across from it is not as large as the room at the end of the hall, which is really long, and that's my daughter's room. So let's go into these clip earrings. I've kind of grown accustomed to clips, the ones that aren't real painful, that is. I also found this brooch. I don't think it's an old one, but isn't it beautiful? How beautiful is that? Isn't that gorgeous? Here's the back of it. There's your little, and I just thought it was really pretty, so we'll put this back in the bag. I found a pair of Weiss, which I thought that's what it said, but they are so little. Yeah, the stone is beautiful, isn't it? So I really couldn't see that well because I was wearing contacts and didn't have my magnification with me, which I'm going to have to stick one in there. But these are Weiss. Let me see if I can't get that in the camera. These little bitty things are Weiss, and I probably can't show it, but it does have, well, there we go, Weiss. And they are just the tiniest little things. I didn't know Weiss. Hey, oh gosh, hey. Excuse me, ladies, while I get rid of something. This is ridiculous. Welcome in, Dawn. Good to see you. Let's see. I tell you, this creep has been very active lately. And it's really getting old, let me tell you. I'd like to put him in timeout for an eternity, but I'm just going to remove his comments. And thank you, Don, for coming in. I appreciate it. I tell you, he was relentless in mine the other night. I mean, relentless. What a creep. So these are Weiss, and they're so tiny. You wouldn't think that Weiss would. I'm used to Weiss being a little bit larger. Let me find a piece of paper here. But these are tiny and they're Weiss. I kind of thought that's what it said, but I wasn't sure. But boy, I tell you that, whatever. But here they are. They're just tiny little AB crystals. Let me hold it still. And these are Weiss, guys. So little. Have you ever seen, I have never seen Weiss make a pair of earrings this small, but they were Weiss. And the best thing, where'd they go? I've got a couple of Native American earrings, and when I saw, where'd it go? And when I saw these particular earrings from what was on it and where are they at, I kind of knew they were native. You know, it had that. I just put those in this bag. Where'd they go? And they're sterling, and they absolutely missed the sterling mark. And where are they? Ugh. I just had those. I put them in the bag before I come up here. I think I'm losing it. But thank you guys for coming in. Those, I just had those things. I put them right in the bag with the others. Oh well. So I found this pair, and I know they're not I haven't tested them. They could, well, they're not marked. And these are absolutely, without a doubt, Native American. Now, the stone in the middle, I can't testify to what that stone is, but let me see how that clip goes. But I do know they're Native American. I will have to test these guys to see, because you just never know. I just had that pair of earrings. What did it do? Crawl off? Even earrings are offended by Gizmo or Gixmo or whatever its name is. Here we go. But they look like this, and I know those are native. They are Native American. I may test those for silver, guys. Let me be still, because they could be, because I know they're native. Look at that. So we'll have to do the test. I've got some acid and stuff. I just had those crazy earrings. Where'd they go? But I just sit there going through a basket of clip earrings, having a good old time. So the next pair, I was surprised that, hey, Minnie, welcome in. I was surprised that these were not marked, because these reminded me of Weiss, but they are not Weiss. In fact, they are not marked, which really surprised me, but I'll show them to you. These reminded me of Weiss, and oh, I was really hoping that they are not Weiss, but they are clips. Beautiful earrings. I can get them straight on here. Look at that. Now, does that remind you of Weiss? Boy, wouldn't I have loved that. Look at that. Now, that reminded me of Weiss, but they are not even marked, but they're still pretty. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, come on, Weiss, but they were not. Thank you, Minnie, for coming in. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And that gets on my nerves when I had something right here. I do have a pair of Monets. These are marked too, as a matter of fact. And I just had a good old time going through clip earrings. Let me see something here, guys. And I couldn't see squat, so I had to just kind of wing it. And I thought, well, oh, these are Sarah Coventry. Awesome. So I do have a pair of Sarah Coventry. And I went to the one in Sellersburg first, and then I went to the one that was, oh, I just had to go down a couple miles and get on the expressway going west. These are Sarah Cove right here with the little faux pearl leaves. So I just kind of felt of them and ran my thumbnail across, and if I felt some indentation, I just picked them up. Because you never know. Thank you, Deborah. And then I have a pair of Monet. Keep these in the bag. These are beautiful Monet, guys. They are spectacular. And Monet, we know, is always known for quality. And these are 100% Monet. And I'll show you these. And thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. But yeah, I was out again yesterday. I must love to be busy. I have been, once you have an auction, you're busy. I mean, there's no doubt about it, and it won't stay on there. But I was looking for my earring. These are the beautiful Monet. In excellent condition, might I add. Just gorgeous. Look at that bling on that. And they are clips. Those are Monet. That was well worth going through there because you never know when somebody's going to throw something in there that they really didn't look at. I've never seen a broke down looking Monet. No, Deborah, they're usually quality. When you buy Monet, pretty much know that you're getting something. And here's another pair. And I couldn't figure out, there's a mark on these, and I just couldn't figure out what that, it's GJD. Does anyone know who GJD is? And there's a trademark on there. Oh yeah, these are GJD. I didn't Google any of these. Have been kind of busy all morning doing something. Let's see if I can find something. I'll be darned. Once I get organized, everybody's going, what's, I just, you get stuff everywhere and it's just the way it is. It's not going to fit. So I'm going to, these are gorgeous. These remind me of Monet as well. Now, how beautiful are those? And they're GJ, whatever. And I don't know what that stands for, but aren't they beautiful? Look at that bling. Kind of reminded me of Monet in a way, but I'll have to Google that name because I don't know what it, but it's got a trademark on it. Then here is I thought was really pretty that are not marked, but I liked them because you never know. I may have a necklace around here that might match these, and these look like this, and it looks like these may be thermoset, guys, and I'll show them to you. These could very well be thermoset. I have a thermoset bracelet because look at it. I have thermoset that looks a lot like that. Thank you, Dawn, and thank you guys for being here. But I thought here's another pair, guys. They're not marked, but they are really fabulous. I figure they're not marked anywhere, which surprises me. But look at these. Look at those. Aren't those pretty? Now, you would have thought that would have been a dead ringer for Monet, but they're not marked. Whoops. At all. One would have thought that would have been Monet. Hey, T, welcome in, sweetheart. Thank you. That makes me so, but they're Navajo, and it's like an Indian on a horse, and it's got flowy hair, and they are sterling. They are clips. I put those in this bag. I guess the dog ate them, I guess. And welcome in, T. Good to see you. I had a brisk shopping day yesterday, and these are kind of amazing. These are not marked neither, how I wish they were. Thank you. These are glass, guys, and they are fantastic. And why is that turned that? Oh, here we go. This is the kind that probably wouldn't hurt your ears a lot. These are glass. Just check that action out. They beautiful. There's nothing at the top. There's just a little bitty thing right there. I know, Deborah, every time I watch that, I just crack. Y'all know what I meant by that. If you was in the chat, y'all know where I was coming from, but it was hilarious. Okay, let's see. So I got these earrings in the same place that when I got to the counter, I had a pleasant surprise. Yeah, I got the most pleasant surprise when I went to the counter, guys. It was a buy one, get one. You bought one piece of glass, you got another one free. If I had known that, I'd have bought even more. But sometimes, like I was saying in the beginning, sometimes they do that. Like if they have inventory that's been around for a while, or if they have inventory that's out on the floor and they know they have an abundance in the back room, they'll do something. And it's always good. The next upcoming holiday that I'm going to be there with the bells on is Labor Day because I know what's coming. And I missed because I didn't get the notification. They had a vintage glassware sale, 25% off. I said, I'm going to give that lady my phone number. I said, next time you have a sale like that. Yeah, it's what it is, Deborah. It's a thrift store that is the proceeds after the employees are paid and the rent go to women that have experienced sexual abuse, and it pays for their counseling and everything like that. And it's just a real good thing. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, guys, suffer in silence, and this pays for their counseling and things that they need. And it's a Christian, yeah, it's a Christian organization. And normally they've added this new feature to round up your total. And I don't mind at all because I know where it's going. And, it really does my heart good to be able to know that someone that has been suffering for years will be able to get counseling totally free through that program. There's a lot of people, guys, that really suffer. A lot of they suffer for years until they're strong enough to get away from it. And unfortunately, a lot of that starts when they're kids, and they deal with it and they deal with it, and it just takes away their self-esteem. They just absolutely feel worthless. And this program helps them through that, the feelings that they're feeling and everything like that. And it's totally free, which I don't mind supporting something like that. I think it's a real good ministry thing, because it helps them get on their feet. It helps them get back out in society, and it's just a wonderful thing. So let's see. Let me show you these. I know when I round up that my money's not going to a CEO somewhere, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Because their buildings, they rent their buildings. You won't look up and see this fantastic building because they rent their buildings, and they're nice, but they rent them. So, you know, I don't mind contributing to the cause because it's a wonderful cause. Let me show you a couple more things off of this one. I went to two different locations. And actually, they have a third location, and Cordon's a little bit of a distance for me, but who knows? I may venture out and one of these days and just check it out. Now, I think the one I went to that was that was further than the one that's closest to my house is a little bit higher than the one in Sellersburg, but they was having a sale, so I couldn't have qualms about that. But let me show you this. Where's my phone? There it is. So this, oh my gosh, and there was two of them. Take a look at this. Let me hit that. This is carnival glass. That is carnival glass. You may not be able to see it that well. And you have your little figures on that. And these are beer steins of all things, but it's white carnival glass. And I'm like, I've seen those and I'm like, yeah, it has beautiful rainbow iridescence to it. It's a shame that you can't see that, but it is something else. You might be able to catch a little on the bottom, and I'll tell you a little bit about them. All right, what's happening here? Why is my phone so light? Let's see here. What did I do? Hit something and huh, what? No, that's not it. No, 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 no. That's next. There it is. So I'll tell you, I've got two of them. I was lucky enough to get a hold of two of them. Excuse me. And I'm about to tell you exactly what we are looking at here. Oh my Atlanta. Oh my Atlanta. This is a vintage federal milk glass iridescent opalescent beer stein or mug. But it's made, it looks like a, to me, made of milk glass with an iridescence or opalescent finish. Hey, Thrifter and Primitive, welcome in, sweetie. Which to me translates into carnival. Well, I guess it might be different, but it's mid 20th century. I have two. But man, if you seen this in person, you would die. And it looks like it has some. It's German. It reminds me, of the picture is like German. I don't know if you can see it real well, but they're sitting at a table. And I have two of those. All, but if you could see that rainbow effect on these is just spectacular. Sometimes our cameras don't do justice to the beauty of things. But isn't that gorgeous? Two of them. And they're beer steins or whatever you'd want them to be. Got two of them. I mean, I'm sitting here looking and I'm seeing yellows, blues, pinks, and like a teal color. Oh, they're beautiful. I grabbed and run with those. So next up, I felt like this was very unique. Look at that handle, and this is pottery, guys. And down here on the bottom, it's like pottery. And check out that handle. Now, is that not magnificent? Yeah, you do see it's kind of pinkish, hun. Kind of, I would say pink, kind of in that frame. And this is pottery, guys. And there's your inside. It's definitely meant to be used. And I'll give you a measurement on it. Just something a little bit out of what I normally get that I thought that people may be interested in. Oh, isn't that sweet? The hearts are just so adorable, and it's 10.5 inches tall, and it's beautiful. Get that off the bottom there. But this down here, guys, has like a different texture to this. It's got like a rougher texture, but isn't that I just thought it was gorgeous. And this is what sold me is the handle right there. That is what sold me right there. So it's got on the bottom, it's got B, small b plus B on the bottom. So I don't know what that represents. But I thought it was adorable, so I picked it up. It's a little something out of my, yeah, I just thought that was just amazing. It makes a heart, and I just thought it would be something that people might be interested in. It was unique and just something different. Alrighty then. Now, these are not old books, and I'll show you what they are. And they're made to look like books that are aged. Look at that. Romeo and Juliet, William Shakespeare. And no, it's not a book. It is this. And what I plan to do is to put a thing in there and make these ring holders. They are beautifully bound to look like an old book. So there you have it right there. What's that say? William Shakespeare and Gone with the Wind. Isn't that amazing? This is the same thing. It looks just like a book. But then you open it up. You can stash your goodies in there and put this in where books are, and no one could ever really, unless they thought this was an old book and they was gonna. And it looks like that on the inside in fairly good shape. Yeah, I got that from Laura. Laura Designs. Laura had a show Friday, and she thrifted this box and made it into a ring box. Needless to say, it didn't last very long, and I'll have to get with her. It's almost 10.5 inches long by almost 7. And when I seen them, I thought, how nostalgic is this? Gone with the Wind and Romeo and Juliet. So if you had them in a shelf, they'd look something like that. But I just thought they were different. Hey, Deborah, welcome in, sweetie. But I thought they looked nostalgic. I thought they looked old, even though they are not. They're from Garden Ridge, but they were $12.99. But I just thought they were amazing. But they could be made into ring boxes very easily. The inside is rather nice. So there we have it. I'm thinking ahead, guys. And I believe, guys, this is magnetized. See that right there? That's a magnet. And when she closes, it's not going anywhere. So I thought that was a great, great find. You're welcome, Deborah. It was my pleasure. So, and I picked this up. You can never have too many of these. Probably next Thursday, Minnie. Next Thursday, and all your goodies is going out tomorrow. Minnie's going to have a big time opening her packages. I can just see the sparkle in her eye. She bought some pretty amazing things. This is like new. And it's a divider thing. See those plastic? Look how big that is. I know. She does. Minnie knows what she wants, and she knows what things are worth, and she does her own work. Yes, she did. This one even has a handle. So you never know. This is Minnie, I want to show you something. Now, Minnie, I don't know exactly what you're looking for. I know you like old, just like I do. But look what your girl found while she was thrifting. That's a sticker. This looks like new. You have this drawer opens. It's really clean. That drawer opens and you have that. That is not glass. And I thought about you, Minnie, when I picked it up. And there she is. It's in real good shape. And according to the sticker, it was $30. See, I try to keep people in mind. I know what they like. I know what they're looking for. And I feel it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't bother me a bit to personal shop for anybody. Just saying. Now, I picked up this bottle. What's that say? Shit. I sound like I'm trying to cuss. Where's my set this over here? As a matter of fact, Minnie, I'm getting ready to set up something for next Thursday's thumbnail on the sideboard over here. But I'm happy when you're happy because that's what it's about. You know, I really enjoy doing it, and I enjoy that you're loving it. So, what's that say? 1852. What in the world does that say? I didn't Google this. Since 1852. Now, I know this looks like a regular old bottle, and you say, well, why did she pick that up? And I'll show you why here in a minute. And I just love going out and just, you guys, y'all know how I roll, but one distinctive quality about that, look at this bottle. Look at that side on the bottom. Do you ever find fairy lamps? I haven't found one, and I think I had Minnie is also looking for fairy lamps. If I ever do, you guys will know. I will certainly pick those up for you guys. There's your bottom. But I just thought that this is here for a reason. And I didn't Google it. It says since 1852. So let's go ahead and see what we have. Yeah, I don't know, it's the thrill of the hunt. I don't know, Deborah, let's take a look here. I didn't Google it. I just thought, why is my light so dim on this phone? Hang on just a second. Where's my Okay, let's take a quick. This is ridiculous. Why is my light so dim on my phone? Hang on. Let me go to. Let's see. I'll probably have to figure it out later. You find something and then you don't. So let's take a picture. So, yeah, I was fully intending to set up some stuff on the sideboard over here, and so that everybody would know. All right, come on now. And I just basically picked this up because of that unique thing on the bottom, and just, I was kind of hoping that it was something good. Let's see here. Let's go back. Did it not pick it up? Let's see. Well, that's weird. Look at that. There it is. But I thought because of the bottom of that, it might be something different. So I picked it up. Well, it says this is a vintage Paul Masson since 1852 embossed glass carafe. It said it was originally used for serving wine, but can also be used for milk, juice, or water. These carafes are considered collectible items for those interested in vintage bottles and insulators. So I did good on this one, guys. But this is the reason why I picked it up. because it was different. And I thought, well, we got a real hot piece that looks like Paul, Paulmasson, since 1852. So we got a winner. Ding, 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 ding. It's hard to see that. I just got it because it was unique and I just put it in the cart and went along my way there. So now when I bought this one, I think this is a tea. You put a little, it's by Heather Goldman. Let me see here. Yeah, Heather Gold. Hang on, let me turn this. God Gold Mine. And I think you put a tea light under this, but I bought this for a specific person. And look how cute that is. Butterfly bungalow. And then you have the little sides there where if it had something under it, then all the light would be coming out. But I'll tell you why I bought this. Designs Laura does wind chimes. And I picked it up and I thought, if anybody could design a wind chime, you could even hang the strings coming down from these windows if you wanted, or even put a structure up in there. So I was kind of guilty of picking this one up for Laura. It's got butterflies and I thought it was adorable. And couldn't you imagine that turned into a wind chime? Because there's possibilities where things can be rigged up on this. So you have an opening in the top. Butterfly bungalow. I thought it was adorable. So we'll see what Laura can, and it even has the gold trim around it. And I had her in mind when I picked that up. So she probably come up with something. I mean, there's enough open spaces for her to design one. And I thought, you even have something in the top. And I thought, there we go. That would be so cute as a made into a wind chime. And if anybody can do it, she can. So next up, I picked this up because I think it's vintage and I crochet myself. I've got many crocheted berets, but I thought, I'm not for sure how this is made, but look at it. Don't pay any attention to that string, but look at it. It reminds me of a pumpkin. And look at the bottom of it. And I thought it was adorable. I think this was commercially made. I don't think anything was. Isn't that adorable? It looks like, and fall is coming, just saying. And I thought it was just adorable. Where's Debbie at? Let's put it on her head. What did I do with Debbie? Here she is. So here we have Debbie that's going to model this fantastic hat, if it'll fit her correctly. Of course, she'd pull it down a little bit. I guess she could put it on a pumpkin. And there it is. There's Debbie, the model. There's your pumpkin little thing right there. I just thought it was really cute and how appropriate for the fall. And there's what it's. I know it. I can feel it in the air today because the humidity. It's about 80, and the humidity. There's no hardly any humidity, and it's just really fall is really in the air. I guess you could put this. You could carve a pumpkin or something. Put this on top of it. but I thought it was adorable. First time I ever bought any kind of a hat that looked like it was knit or crochet, because I crochet all the time and I have many hats. I love the colors. And hey, Lenore, welcome in. I love the colors in that because I can crochet berets and everything else, but I just thought this was unique and different, so I picked it up. How cute is that? You never know what I'm going to come up with. And before you know it, guys, we're going to be ringing Christmas bells, just saying. And what makes a better Christmas than a beautiful vintage glass dish with a lid? Look at that with a snowflake on top. Vintage is all get out right there, minus the price. And I didn't Google it. I knew it was old. And you know how I knew it? That right there. Most of your vintage glassware that has that on the bottom is more than likely older, because things that are mass produced today just don't. Thank you, Lenore, and welcome in, sweetheart. It's so good to see you. Because let's face it, guys, most things are mass produced today. We know that. And when you get that little bit of something, something there, you know you got something. And I didn't Google it because I knew it was old. 6 inches long by 4.5 inches wide. I knew I had something. You know, my experience with glass is, since I started YouTube, is very vast, and I can just about tell. Is Nana in here? I'm not seeing her. Oh, Tea at Nana's. Thank you so much. I'm thinking Nana Tink. So we're just going to make a picture because, hey, it might have a name behind it. We never know. But once you buy this stuff, you can spot it really easy. And let's see what we have. And thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate that. Let's Google that. Come on, Google. Let's go. But I tell you guys, I enjoy this. Oh my goodness, I was right. This is a Luminart Crystal Snowflake Art Glass. Mm-mm-mm. Boom, I was right. It's a vintage Luminart Crystal Snowflake Art Glass covered. It says bowl, but bowl candy trinket dish, and you won't believe Luminarc. Luminarc is it's measuring 5.5 inches in length and 4.5 inches in height. And Luminarc is a heavy hitter when it comes to glass because it's been around for a while. It has an Art Deco style, but I thought it was amazing. Let me very carefully. But you can tell when things are decked out like this, you can tell that, and there's a half of a snowflake. You can tell when something's really good, and this is Luminarc. There's that, and here's your sides with snowflakes. So we have a winner, and it's made, almost sounds like pressed glass to me, but this would be a beautiful addition on anyone's table come ho 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 time. That's true, Deborah. We need, because Christmas, it seems like once Halloween gets here, And then boom, it's, of course there's Thanksgiving and it's like boom, here we go, and you're right. And I do know a lot of people do buy things for people for Christmas at these auctions, which is really helpful because you don't have to get out there. People don't like getting out there in that crowd. And when you can get something really nice that you won't find anywhere else, it's a good thing. Of course, we have to have those bells. And I like the old ones, and I know you guys do too. So it was a no brainer when it came to this one. Oh, this has the most beautiful. Oh my goodness. Let me get the other one. A lot of these I just went by instinct. I really didn't Google them. I just said, hey, I like that. And I just go by instinct sometimes. You just kind of know when when you're out there shopping. Yeah. And Nana says she starts her shopping right after, which is a good thing because a lot of times there are deals to be had out there. And I tell you, with the way things are today, a deal is, you got to really shop and get the best deal. You just got to. But guys, on a lot of this glass, they had buy one get one. So man, if I'd have known that, I'd have been loaded for Sweet Tinkly Bell. I would have been loaded for bar. But I didn't know it. I didn't see any signs or anything. Maybe they just. Okay, what shall we start with? This one has the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not lack. May only goodness and kindness pursue me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Lord, for all days. Oh my God, isn't that precious? It's got the wording right there. You have praying hands right there. And it sounds good, doesn't it? Oh, we have a bubble, guys, right in the top. Right there, there is a bubble, which is always a really good sign. But this is the Lord's Prayer. They just shortened it a little bit, but it all means the same thing. And I know it's older, so let's get a quick glimpse of the shot of this. Because I was back there, and some of the stuff they didn't have a price on it, and they rolled the card out there, and it didn't have prices on it. So if I wanted something, I just said this doesn't have a price on it, and I'm glad I did because I got buy one get one free. I'll take that. So I have seen a lot of the thrift that I go to. They have a Christmas section out. So a lot of people have Christmas in July sales that I think people get more into it as you get closer to those holidays. What is wrong with that? They get more into it. They get more in the spirit of it because people like things that they can use right away. I mean, I don't blame them. Oh, Lord. This is a vintage Emson 24% lead crystal bell featuring the inscription, "The Lord is my shepherd," from the 23rd Psalm, the first verse. It's 5 to 5.5 inches tall and 2.5 to 2.75 inches in diameter. So this is old too. It's got a real pretty, and it's got a bubble right in the top of it. Couple, as a matter of fact. There's one big one, a couple little ones. Isn't that pretty? So we have another bell. This one has kind of a shade of like a purplish pink color on the bottom. You hold it still. You have your little clapper there. I don't see any bubbling in this one. But this almost looks iridescent. You might be able to see it better from a distance, the iridescence in that. So I didn't picture this neither. So we're going to do it right now. Some things you just pick them up and just put them in the cart because you sense something about them. And see what we got rolling here. Hmm. Oh my goodness. Okay, you ready for this? This is a vintage French BAYEL crystalline cranberry rose flash cut crystal bell. Now that's a mouthful. Isn't that beautiful? There's what that. This don't sound as good as the other one, but man, that's got a long handle to it. Crystalline cranberry rose flash cut. I just got, well, they had stuff on a cart and I just started going through it. And some of it was priced and some of it wasn't. So that's when I said, hey, this is not priced. So I love a good trinket box. You know that we have, whoops, let me put this down because if I don't, it is a double heart trinket dish and it's old, I can tell. Isn't that cute? A lot of times these are good to gift people things in. And there's your bottom. It's good to put a little gift in there, and I didn't Google it, so I'm getting ready to. It seems to be made of pretty, got some weight to it there. Let's take a picture of that. I thought it was very pretty the way it was put together. Hmm. Shaped trinket box. Strong, storing small items. Okay, this is, and I'm only, well, what happened to my phone here? I had this on the charger. Whoops, we don't have any phone. But this is like a crystal type. I had that on the charger unless it got unplugged. Oh well. But isn't that beautiful? There's your, it's a double heart. Really pretty piece of glass there. And my phone just went kaput. Oh well, we'll just have to wing it. So, I'm sure this is vintage as well, and it's very unique the way it's shaped. And I don't know if this, and I know it's vintage. I don't have to use the. That's why it was so dim, duh, because it was about ready to die. Let me get this sticker out of it. But this is very different, and I know it's old. I was wondering why it was so dim. Look at this one. Look at that etched on the other side. That is etched, and there's your bottom right there, and it is decked out. Look at that. Feels like pressed glass to me. It's got that feel. It's not crystal, but it's pressed glass. But it's an old one. Look at that rose. It's kind of a rose, and that is all etched on that. So there's that. Move things around. I've gotten a lot more room up here since I cleaned up. So I that's all, guys, that I picked up. All this stuff and more will be for sale at my auction next Thursday. I'm gonna let you guys go. It's 5:15 here. So you guys have a great day. Thank you for being here. Love you guys, and I'll see you Thursday. You guys have a great day. Bye bye.